Hello, everybody. Today we're going to do the good gods of the in between lands. And after we get done that, we're going to tell you different locations where you can put your towns, kingdoms, and stuff like that. Alright, this video might run a little long, but here you go. Here are the good gods of the in between lands.
In the mystical world of the in-between lands, there existed a list of 10 good gods who were revered and worshipped by the inhabitants of the land. Each god had their own unique qualities and attributes, and the people of the in-between lands would offer prayers and sacrifices to them in order to seek their blessings and protection. The first god on the list was Solara, the goddess of the sun. She was said to have golden hair that shimmered like the rays of the sun, and her eyes were as bright as the midday sky. To worship Solara, the people of the in-between lands would offer her gifts of sunflowers and light candles in her honor. Next on the list was Luna, the goddess of the moon. Luna was said to have silver hair that glowed like the moonlight, and her eyes were as mysterious as the night sky. To worship Luna, the people of the in-between lands would offer her gifts of moonstones and burn incense under the light of the full moon. The third god on the list was Terra, the goddess of the earth. Terra was said to have hair the color of rich soil, and her eyes were as green as the forests that covered the land. To worship Terra, the people of the in-between lands would offer her gifts of flowers and plant trees in her honor. The fourth god on the list was Aquarius, the god of the sea. Aquarius was said to have hair the color of the ocean waves, and his eyes were as blue as the deep sea. To worship Aquarius, the people of the in-between lands would offer him gifts of seashells and perform rituals by the shore. The fifth god on the list was Zevran, the god of the wind. Zevran was said to have hair that danced in the breeze, and his eyes were as clear as the sky. To worship Zevran, the people of the in-between lands would offer him gifts of feathers and fly kites in his honor. The sixth god on the list was Flora, the goddess of flowers. Flora was said to have hair the color of blooming roses, and her eyes were as bright as the petals of a daisy. To worship Flora, the people of the in-between lands would offer her gifts of bouquets and tend to their gardens with care. The seventh god on the list was Vulcan, the god of fire. Vulcan was said to have hair the color of flames, and his eyes were as fierce as a wildfire. To worship Vulcan, the people of the in-between lands would offer him gifts of red stones and light bonfires in his honor. The eighth god on the list was Ether, the god of the sky. Ether was said to have hair that sparkled like the stars, and his eyes were as vast as the heavens. To worship Ether, the people of the in-between lands would offer him gifts of feathers and release lanterns into the night sky. The ninth god on the list was Aurora, the goddess of the dawn. Aurora was said to have hair the color of the sunrise, and her eyes were as radiant as the morning light. To worship Aurora, the people of the in-between lands would offer her gifts of crystals and greet the dawn with songs of praise. The 10th and final god on the list was Gaia, the goddess of nature. Gaia was said to embody all of the elements of the earth, and her eyes held the wisdom of the ages. To worship Gaia, the people of the in-between lands would offer her gifts of fruits and vegetables and care for the land with reverence.
Alright, that's the 10 gods of the in between lands. And now we're going to get the list of the different locations of the in between lands. Here you go. I'm going to read them out loud.
The in-between land. Green Mist is a land of green hills and swamps with misty green fog. Hills of Tears is a lush forest that rains almost all the time. Unholy Ruins, an ancient place where creatures do dark rituals at. Red Hands is full of red clay and where a lot of amber is at. Because of the red clay, the water looks like blood. Hell Doom, it's for goblins, live in caves, and dark creatures. The Gate 1, this is a tunnel that leads you to the other side of the planet like a magical portal. The Gate 2 sent you back to Gate 1. The pit is surrounded by volcanoes and then one super volcano. This dormant rocky lands, the flat land with tons of different kinds of rocks. And Crystal's Dragonback is a roll of mountains. Silverleaf is where the elves live, a heavy forest, beautiful green place. Delmouth, a land with rolling hills and mountains. Tis is where the dwarfs live. Green Valley is where the hobbits live in their little underground huts. Lots of farmland. Desert Land is for most people go to die because it's all desert. Riverdale is a place where humans liveth. Land of Black Rock is where some of the Dark Lords liveth. Black Keep is where most occultists, evil people live. Del Water, this is a place where a bunch of rivers meet and go to the sea. Great for fishing. Fire Mountain, this is where places of dragons and dark gods live. Troll Lands is a place of grass and trees and beautiful herbs that can't be found anywhere else. Along Waterland is where humans, elf, and dwarfs live for fishing. Some hobbits live there for farming purposes. Ironwood is where dwarfs live as well, and dark elves. Oakwood Forest is where werewolves live. Hall is a land where witches, zombies, and other unnatural creatures liveth. Grassland is a beautiful land full of grass, flowers, and beautiful trees as far as I can see. Ice Wall is a winter wonderland of beautiful ice sculptures and the deadly creatures live. A town. City is a land of corrupt politicians and crooked people. Goldwood is a place where the sun never sets. Where fairies live.
Alright, now let's get to the location. Green Mist is northwest, so is Hills of Tears, and then you got the just the west, Red Hand and Hell's Doom. And then you got the southwest is the gate, the first gate, and the pit. Now in the middle you have the Rocky Lands up north and the Unholy Ruins. And then now in the middle of the map, you got the Plains Valley, Dragon's Back, Silverleaf, Green Valley, Delmouth. Now you're south now at the bottom of the map. The land of the Black Rock, Troll Lands, Black Keep, Del Water, Fire Mountain, Long Waterlands. The Gate 2 is the opposite end of the map, south. Now east, you have the Green Valley, Riverdale, Grasslands, Town City, the Desert Land, the Golden Wood, Ice Wall, Ironwood. Now, the northeast is Oakwood Forest, Shadowlands, and Moonhall. And that's all the locations. You can put your humans, which I already put on there where the humans live. But you can put characters wherever you want. Use your imagination, but there you go.